Hi everybody! Not sure why I went that direction, but anyway. Today is an exciting day. We have a new track by Bloodywood. Now, I've covered Bloodywood quite extensively on this channel. They've even included me in some of their promotional materials. You know, they've used clips of my channel in their documentary, Rage Against the Machine, and I was used a clip from this channel, and many others as well, I might add, were used in a promotional video for, I think it was Godard, I think it was. But anyway, you know, I've had a long-standing fascination with this band. You know, I think they are an outstanding band. All of their songs seem to have some sort of really deep, important meaning. You know, the first track I looked at was GVRA, which was, you know, talking about depression and overcoming this depression and reaching out for help, that sort of thing. All of their songs seem to have some important message, you know, whether it be talking about mental health or even if it be political. But when they do a political message, they don't lean to either side. So they're sort of speaking to everybody, you know. They don't want to influence one way or the other, you know. So they're just saying, like, read of this what you will, because this applies to everybody, you know. So they're a sort of neutral party, but they're still sending out a positive message, you know, because they want the world to be a better place. They don't want to see all this sort of fighting and arguing. They want to help people that are struggling and suffering and that sort of thing, you know. So all their songs, you know, are pretty meaningful, and as we all know, that is something that I really enjoy. You know, I like thinking and talking about the deeper meanings behind songs. So, of course, a couple of days ago, maybe a day or two, I can't remember exactly how long ago, Bloodywood released a new track called New Delhi, but new spelled N-U like new metal. Now, for some reason, I wasn't notified of this. You know, I followed them on Facebook and I've subscribed to their channel on YouTube, but I didn't get any notifications about this song whatsoever when it was released, and I don't know why. You know, I don't seem to be getting any information from the band through Facebook. You know, I'm not getting notified of their posts. For some reason, I didn't get even notified on YouTube, you know, and I've got all the bells and whistles clicked. So I don't know what happened there, so that's why I'm a day late and a dollar short. But anyway, we're going to be looking at this new track, and I'm really excited for it, because it's been quite a while since we last checked out a new track by Bloodywood, you know. But then they have been touring quite extensively with the Rack Shack album, you know, and all that. So, you know, it's only fair that they have a little bit of a rest before starting something new. So anyway, I'm just rambling on. I'm really excited to check this track out. And yeah, I've got lyrics here. Now, I searched for the lyrics for this track online, and I found them on Genius Lyrics. And as we all know, Genius Lyrics have a tendency to be wrong. So just to make sure, I watched the video on mute, so I didn't actually hear the track. And the video itself has subtitles for the lyrics. And what do you know? The Genius Lyrics were wrong. So I did what I've done many times before, is I watched the video all the way through in mute and typed out the lyrics that came up at the bottom of the screen. So, the lyrics I have here should, in theory, be completely accurate to what the band intended. So, yeah. Well, anyway, I'm really just rambling on. I don't know why I'm procrastinating so much, because I really want to hear this track. So anyway, we'll jump into this track and see what we've got. But before we do that, if you could just take a moment to like and subscribe if you haven't already, it would really, really help me out. You know, I've been doing this for about 6 years now, and not even 3% of people watching my videos are actually subscribed, and that's kind of disheartening, you know, because I do put a lot of time and effort into this. But anyway, let's just jump into this track and see what we've got. So, New Delhi by Bloodywood. Let's have a look.
Law of the jungle and the rule of the beast. A feast for the senses, no you can't compete. It's the power of the will that you just can't beat. When you get past the vast contrast, you go find the proof that the love can last. Delhi taking over and we making it shift, cause the Daisy Boys alone was no diversity. Welcome to the land of the wild, wild east. Law of the jungle and the rule of the beast. Feast of the senses, though you can't compete. It's the power of the will, the power of the skill that you just can't.
आजा करण हो गया रिकॉर्ड.
Nice. So, there you go. New Delhi by Bloodywood. And again, they just don't disappoint. You know, their music is just so captivating. It's so addictive. You know, because it literally just grabs you and pulls you in, and you're sitting there just like, yay! You know, it's really exciting music. You know, it's quite heavy. I mean, this one actually started out relatively soft for Bloodywood, you know, because they have had some very, very heavy, very chunky songs, such as Godard, for example. But you know, this one started off a little bit lighter, shall we say, but it still had those thick, chunky sounding guitars throughout it, and of course they then had all those sort of native instruments in the background as well, which is a real sort of trademark for this band, and it just sounds great. And you know, it's another really catchy piece of music. You know, it really grabs your attention, and it's really good fun. You know, that they've in some of their videos, you know, they've had a little bit of silliness. You know, they've had a couple of silly moments. This one seems to be a lot more serious, although there was that part where he was hanging out the side of the little car buggy thing, I forget what they're called, and it looked like he almost had his head taken off by a car going in the opposite direction, but, you know, still. Now, the song itself, I can't be entirely certain, but it seems to be talking about, you know, they have pride in where they live, you know, where they're from. You know, they are proud of where they're from, but they're also admitting that whilst they love the place, whilst it is perfect, whilst they love the place, whilst it is their home, and whilst, you know, they think it is a great place to live, they are admitting it is not entirely perfect. There are still flaws within it. And this is contrary to a lot of other countries who think that they are the greatest nation on earth, and, you know, they can do no wrong and everybody should bow to them, because if it wasn't for them the world would all be, you know, yada yada blah. You know, certain countries, I think, you know, have a very, very high opinion of themselves, you know, and, you know, they think they're perfect and their shit don't stink. Whereas here they're sort of talking about this place and they say, you know, it's a wonderful and great place to live, it is a fantastic place, but it's not perfect. You know, that seems to be what they're saying here. Because the lyrics go, welcome to the land of the wild, wild east. It's the law of the jungle and the rule of the beast. A feast for the senses, no, you can't compete. It's the power of the will that you just can't beat. So, wild, wild east, you know, that's obviously a joke to the wild, wild west sort of thing. It's the law of the jungle and the rule of the beast. A feast for the senses, you can't compete. Now, this is something that I can completely understand, or not understand, I completely believe, because I've never been there. Obviously, I've only ever been out of this country once, and that was to Holland, you know. But there's so many interesting things in, like, India and all that sort of thing. You know, I would love to go there. I would really love to see it, because it's such a rich culture. You know, they've got so much going on. You know, whether it be like the architecture or whatever, you know, the music and everything, you know, it's a really interesting place. You know, he says it's a feast for the senses. I imagine it's quite sensory overload, you know, to try and take everything in. And you just can't compete because, you know, there's nothing else like it. I mean, Japan possibly, you know, that sort of thing. But anyway, you know, they're saying, you know, it's a feast for the senses, you know, this is a sensory overload, and you just can't compete with it. You know, nothing you've got can come anywhere close to what we've got, sort of thing. When you get past the vast contrast, you're going to find proof that the love can last. Delhi taking over and we making it shift, because the Desi boys will always know diversity is a gift. So, you know, again, they're talking about the mixture of cultures. You know, once you get past the vast contrast, you know, so there's, you know, quite high diversity going on here. You got to find proof that love can last. You know, you're going to fall in love with this country and it's never going to leave you, sort of thing, possibly. Then it goes into a sort of, we'll call it a bridge, because it's not a pre-chorus at the moment. It says, this is the land of the lion-hearted, we've got your back, but remember you're in a lion's den, so choose your words wisely. Try not to lose your temper, this city tests everyone, home to both saints and sinners alike. This is not a city, this is a game of chess. So this is the land of the lion-hearted, you know, we're all brave, we're all proud of who we are, and, you know, we've got your back, we'll take care of you, but remember, you're in a lion's den. You know, things can go wrong, and, you know, whilst we love this place, while we think this place is great, there are still elements that are not perfect, you know. So choose your words wisely, try not to lose your temper, this city tests everyone. Are home to both saints and sinners alike. So, you know, they're saying, you know, this is a great country, this is a great place that we live in, you know, Delhi is a wonderful, wonderful place, you know, and, you know, if you come along and, you know, and you're nice and you're polite and you're kind and, you know, you act accordingly, you know, we've got your back, we're taking good care of you, but you've got to be careful. You know, you say possibly the wrong thing, some people might take major offence to that, and it could go horribly wrong for you. You know, saints and sinners alike. So, you know, this city might be great, but there are some bad elements, and if you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, something could potentially go wrong, maybe. This is not a city, it's a game of chess. You know, that makes it sound like it's really, really risky living there. When they might be suggesting that, you know, they might be suggesting it, that it's very easy to stumble across the bad elements. I don't know. But saying it's a game of chess sounds like you've got to be tactical, you've got to be careful about what you do, where you go, and who you speak to, and what you say. So, I don't know. And it goes, this is Delhi. I am the one of many. The diamond built from the pressure. I'm a son of New Delhi. I see it tip to the right, but we're making it steady. So you're about to be finding out if you don't know it already. I carry the dream, born of urban extremes. We share the magic of the culture like we're building a dream. Divided by blood, united by the spirit. Delhi rocking for the world and everybody in it. So, I am the one of many. The diamond built from the pressure. I'm a son of New Delhi. So, a diamond built from the pressure. So, could they be talking about possible there might have been political turmoil in the country at some point? I don't know much about the politics of that area of the world. He says, I see it tip to the right, but we're making it steady. So it's like we see the country falling into one extreme, but we want to sort of balance it out, make it fair for everybody. Maybe that's what they're saying there. Because they, like I said before, they have done some sort of politically motivated, I don't know if that's the right word, songs before, where they've been talking about liars and corrupt officials and that sort of thing. So here, where he's saying, well, I see it tip to the right, but we're making it steady, he's saying, I can see the country is like leaning to one extreme, and we want to balance it out, He says we're making it steady, they want to balance it out, make it fair for everybody, so we don't have this violent division that we see in some other countries where it's one or the other, and if you don't support one, they're going to do their damnedest to make your life miserable if you're on the other side. There are certain countries who will remain nameless that that they have such extremes in their political beliefs. There's no sort of middle ground. Like everybody wants the same thing essentially. Everybody just wants to live happily and peacefully. So why can't people just get along? It's something I'll never understand. It's all these political asshats. They're constantly fighting against each other. And they're saying, I want what's best for this country. The other guy's saying, I want what's best for this country. Why can't they just sort of go, well, we both want what's best for the country. Why are we bitching and arguing about it? My ideas might be different from yours, but essentially we both want the same thing. So why can't they just find a balance rather than constantly butting heads and fighting? And that's what he's saying there. I'm seeing it fall into the extreme of one side, but, we're trying to balance it out. We're trying to make it a happy place for everyone, rather than having this violent sort of combative nature. That could be what he's saying. So you're about to be finding out, if you don't know it already, I carry the dream born of urban extremes. That again, that could be the dreams born of urban extremes. This could be the people that have had to tolerate possibly a what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like a fascist regime sort of thing, So they've had to survive under this sort of rule of a tyrannical. That's the word I was looking for. Looking for living under a tyrannical leader. So they were born of urban extremes, so they've had to struggle and fight for survival. So he carries the dreams of all the people, or they carry the dreams of all the people that were born in that situation. They want to make it a fairer place, essentially. That might be what he's saying now. We share the magic of the culture like we're living a dream. They want the country as a whole to be a better place, because they love the country, they love where they are, they love the culture, everything about it. But these sort of, again, political asshats, are trying to, are only interested in themselves. They don't really care about the country. All they want to do is make themselves richer and make their best friend richer, and the rest of the world can suck it as far as they're concerned. Divided by the blood, united by the spirit. Again, this could be talking about like the conflicts throughout the country. again, divided by the blood, again, could also mean, divided by different political ideologies, but united by the spirit. Again, we all want what's best for the country. We want this country to be the best it can possibly be. Desi rocking for the world and everybody in it. So that could be like, we're trying to set an example for everybody else. Anyway, and then it goes back into that sort of bridge part where he goes, this is the land of the lion-hearted, we've got your back, but remember you're in a lion's den, so choose your words wisely. Try not to lose your temper, this city tests everyone, a home for both saints and sinners alike. This is not a city, this is a game of chess, this is. And then it goes into essentially the chorus. It goes, Delhi, mind your head when you're in it. Delhi, this city will bury your ego, this is Delhi. It'll love you like its own, Delhi, but if you fuck around you won't be found. Delhi, every day's a festival in Delhi. Everything has a workaround in Delhi. 1,000 battles can be fought here. This isn't a city, it's a game of chess. This is Delhi. So again, it's sort of going, mind your head when you're in Delhi. This could be like, you might lose your mind, because this is an amazing place, but, keep it together, man. This city will bury your ego. There's no room for being an entitled asshat, just, bury your ego, just enjoy the culture of the place, be calm and just love where you are, because it's, like I said, it's a beautiful place to be, with so much going on. And the city will love you like its own, everybody will treat, even if you're an outsider, they will welcome you in, because, diversity is a great thing. They want to welcome you in. They want to make you feel at home. They want to show you their fabulous country or city or wherever it is. They want you to be, comfortable. They want to make you feel welcome. And it says, but if you fuck around, you won't be found. So again, possibly very easy to stumble across the wrong thing, say the wrong thing, and, bad things could possibly happen. Again, saying, this place is great, we absolutely love it, but it does have its problems. Again, that could be what they're saying there. Every day's a festival in Delhi. Excuse me. So, it's a fun place to be, There's always something going on, There's all these fabulous colours all over the place. There's all this fabulous music in the air. Every day is a festival. It's wonderful. Everything has a workaround in Delhi. Not sure what that means. There's a way to enjoy yourself all the time. I don't know. 1,000 battles to be fought here. This isn't a city. This is a game of chess. This is Delhi. Again, that could be suggesting, whilst it's a great place, there are elements, so you've got to be careful. Carries on. Any day I'm saying Delhi for life, living a mile in a moment because you don't live twice. Armed with the heart of fire and the veins of the ice, I'm having a lot of trouble with it. You got to go harder down in the land of the spice. So again, any day I'm saying Delhi for life. Any day I'm going to say how much I love this place. This is my home and I love this place. Any day. Anybody asks me, I'm saying, this is the best place ever. Living a mile of moment because you don't live twice. So I'm living my life to its fullest. I'm going to enjoy as much of my life as I can because you don't get a second chance, despite what certain people will have you believe. Armed with the heart of the fire and the veins of the ice, you've got to go harder down in the land of the spice. So, armed with the sort of passion for life, you've got to go harder in the, you've got to live life to its fullest down here because this is a great place to live. There's so much to see, there's so much to do, there's so much culture to take in and absorb. You've got to take it all in. So you've got to use your time to its fullest, essentially. We asking nice and then we break the bones. We are the men on a mission that is bigger than home. And if we with you, we're riding to the end of your time, because Delhi's a state, but New Delhi's a state of mind. So, we are the men on a mission that's bigger than home. Again, that could be, trying to balance out the country, trying to sort of bring harmony to everything, and if we're with you, we're riding with you to the end of time, So, if you're with us, if you're helping us, if you're part of our crew, essentially, we are friends for life. That is it. We've got your back always. Yeah, because Delhi is a state, but New Delhi, again, this could be the idea of trying to revamp, not necessarily revamp it, sort of revitalise it and sort of bring, harmony and unity to the place rather than the extreme leanings that he was possibly alluded to earlier. And then it goes back into that sort of bridge. This is the land of the lion-hearted. We've got your back, but remember you're in a lion's den, so choose your words wisely. Try not to lose your temper. This city tests everyone. A home to both saints and sinners alike. This is not a city. This is a game of chess. This is Delhi. Mind your head when you're in it. Delhi. This city will bury your ego. This is Delhi. It'll love you like its own. And Delhi, but if you fuck around, you won't be found. Delhi. Every day's a festival in Delhi. Everything is a workaround in Delhi. 1,000 battles to be fought here. This isn't a city. This is a game of chess. This is Delhi. Ride with us. I'll make sure you see it all. Join our rhythm. You'll master the hustle. Once you're here, you'll be hooked when you're in sync with the pulse of the city. I read that in a very strange way. But anyway, so it says, ride with us. We'll make sure, come with us. We'll show you around. We'll make sure you see everything, join our rhythm, you'll master the hustle, eventually you'll sort of fall into the rhythm of the city, and it'll just sort of become part of you. You'll sort of absorb everything. Once you're here, you'll be hooked. This is a wonderful place. You'll love it here, I guarantee. When you're in sync with the pulse of the city, again, sort of once you fall into the rhythm of the city, it'll become part of you. You'll get so used to it so quickly, and it'll be amazing. Then it goes back to the opening verse of the track, although it is slightly changed. It goes, welcome to the land of the wild, wild east. It's the lure of the jungle and the rule of the beast. A feast for the senses, no, you can't compete. It's the power of the will, the power of the skill that you just can't. And then it goes back into that chorus, Delhi, mind your head when you're in it. Delhi, the city will bury your ego. This is Delhi, etc., etc. So, like I said, they seem to be talking, they seem to be talking about a passion for where they live. They're talking about a passion for their home, saying, whilst it's a wonderful, great place, it still has its problems, but we're trying to fix it. We want to make this a great, harmonious, wonderful place for everyone to live. That seems to be what they're saying, and, we absolutely love it. We're not saying this is a terrible place, but it does have a couple of problems, and this is like I said before, they've sung other songs about like corruption, politicians and that sort of thing. They've covered that before, but they've always done it in a neutral sense. They're not saying the far left, the far right, or whoever else. They're just sort of saying it's leaning one way, we're trying to balance it. We're not saying we want to go the other way, we're just saying we want it to be for everyone. So I like the way they do their music, because they are fair. They're not throwing political ideologies at people. They're not throwing religious ideologies at people. They're saying, be who you want to be, be who you want to be, but above all, be kind. That's essentially what they're saying. You can be whoever the hell you want to be, just be a good person. That's essentially the message of almost every track that they've released. They might not be like directly saying that, but that seems to be the overarching message. Whether it's looking after someone who's suffering with mental illnesses, you can be whoever you want to be, but be kind. Be affectionate towards that person because they need help. Or whether it's they did a song about losing a beloved pet dog. And saying how that dog was their best friend, like be who you want to be, but be kind. That seems to be the sort of all-encompassing message of all of their music. It's like, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter what your status in life, everybody has the capacity to be a good person. And I think that is a beautiful thing. This band just spreads positivity in everything it does, and it's something I greatly admire about them. They've done so much for charities. It's unbelievable. And the fact that this band, they've only released one album. They started out, if I remember correctly, as a parody band, but then they started creating their own music, and what wonderful music it is. And I'm just always impressed by this band because they are, it's made up of wonderful, kind people who make amazing music, and they do so much for people, normally out of their own pocket, and I cannot praise this band enough. They are a wonderful band. They make amazing music. And they're always trying to spread positivity and saying, no matter which way you lean in life, just be a nice person. Just be positive. Let's make the world better for everyone. Because we're all on this planet, and our time is finite. So why spend all that time arguing, fighting, at war with each other? Why not just be nice? And that's it. It's not difficult. It's not difficult to be nice to someone. Anyway, again, wonderful piece of music. Catchy, heavy, chunky. I love it. And if this is leading up to a new album by them, I very much look forward to it. But I really don't know what else I can say on that, so I'm going to leave that as it is. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like or a subscribe if you haven't already, because it really, really would help me out. I've been doing this for about 6 years at this point, and not even 3% of people watching my videos are actually subscribed, which is a little bit disheartening, because I like to think I do something different than most other reactions. Most people will look at a piece of music and go, yeah, I like it, and that's about it. That's all you get. I like to talk about what the song is about. I like to talk about the meanings, the themes, the morals behind the music. And I haven't seen any other channel that actually does that. Occasionally another channel might do it. I know Elizabeth on the Charismatic Voice. She does it occasionally. But very few, if any other reaction channel, actually talk about what the song itself is about. And that's what I like to talk about. I like to start up a conversation about what people think a song about. I mean, this song that I looked at today, I could be completely wrong about what it's about. I could very well be. Other people might interpret it a different way, and that's the wonderful thing about music. Everybody interprets it slightly differently. And this is a conversation I want to have, because heavy metal music is widely misunderstood. There's this massive misconception that heavy metal is just all evil, violence, blood, gore, misery, and that's just simply not true. I've covered over 900 tracks on this channel, and most of them have had an important real world message, whether it's talking about homelessness, domestic violence, depression, mental health, corrupt politicians, for example, or things like that, homeless war veterans. They've covered a plethora of real world issues that need to be discussed. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people just hear that it's loud and sounds aggressive, and they immediately assume that it's all about violence and anger. And that's just simply not true. And that's why I like to talk about what songs are about, so that people might come to understand how wrong they are. I'm not trying to go, you're wrong, look at this. I just want people to try and understand and open their mind, essentially, to the idea that they're actually talking about important things. And I want to remove that misconception of what people think heavy metal is, because heavy metal's been made the scapegoat for so many things. School shootings, murderers, what have you. It's always been heavy metal's fault. But you don't see things like hip-hop and rap get blamed for it, whereas violence in the hip-hop and rap culture is much, much more prevalent than it is in metal. But hip-hop's never made the scapegoat, is it? And that's why I want to discuss this sort of thing, to maybe help people understand. And there might be people who have never thought to think about what the lyrics say. They've just sort of listened to the piece of music and gone, yeah, I like it. And that's fine. But, I just kind of hoped that maybe we could start a discussion about what songs are about and that sort of thing. So, anyway. So that's why I do what I do, And I kind of hoped people might enjoy that sort of thing, but Maybe they do, maybe they don't, I don't know. But, you know, if you could like and subscribe, it really, really would help me out. You know, it doesn't cost you a thing, takes a fraction of a difference, takes a fraction of a second, and makes the biggest difference to me and the channel. But anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you all very, very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.